What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Coming at you with yet again, well, no perfume upload today. I've been getting, as of recently, from you guys inquiries and questions about what frames I wear. So I've decided to go ahead and make an upload for you guys on my frame collection, which is at this point pretty extensive. So I'll walk you through the three brands I typically wear, and then I will just, share with you whatever details I can with respect to the frames. So the first brand that I have two frames from, it is Persol. So right now I am wearing a Persol, which is well, they don't really give any particular name for it. It's the 331V, all right? And it's basically, these ones are opticals, and it's a take on one of their classic Sunnies. And as you can see here, you have the Persol arrow, which is very typical. It's not very thick frame-wise. Acetate, made in Italy. You got the Persol logo right here. And that's what they look like on my face. So very general or generic rectangular frames. The one thing I like about these is that they don't curve on your face. They're rather go pretty flat, and they have a bit of a gap on the inside, so they actually look pretty cool. And I do have mine as transitionals, so once you go out there, they look like a pretty mafia boss sort of look to them. If you really want to get a sense of what these look like in the sunnies, Sylvester Stallone in one of his latest shows wore them. So if you do a quick Google search of Sylvester Stallone sunglasses, he's gonna pop up with a picture of these Persols on, which are the ones for the suns, and you're gonna get a sense of what they look like. Okay. The next Persol I have is none other than the Professor. And this is what it looks like. Again, there's two iterations for this. There's the opticals and the sun ones. This one is the optical, and I've elected to put transitions on it. And as you can see, similar design. You get the Persol arrow, and it's again very thin piano lacquer black acetate color wise, and this is what it looks like on me. It's one of my favorite frames actually. It looks amazing in the sun once the transitions kick in, and even just as an optical is just very classy, very sophisticated, very action oriented also look wise. And this one has a rather domesticated teardrop. It doesn't have an exaggerated teardrop, and I mentioned that because shortly I'll show you a different example of an exaggerated teardrop aviators. But this one is known as a Professor, and this one actually was created for a Netflix show, and they took it from the Netflix show and made it mainstream, and I believe it was a Spanish show. Okay, so this is the Professor Aviators El Profesor, original Persols, handcrafted in Italy. Okay, yeah, and it does say on it in here, copyright Netflix. Okay, so I was correct. All right, so these are the Persols. Now, these are the two frames I have from this brand. The next brand is Moscot. Okay, and I have quite a bit of frames from Moscot, so bear with me. So this one right here is the Cinnamon Flesh Talina from Moscot. And these ones, I have green-gray transitionals on them, so the contrast is really, really good in the sun once it kicks in. So again, I've changed the lenses to have these as opticals, and that's what they look like on me. They're very good quality frames. They're handmade, again, in Italy, and Moscot is a very old brand out of New York. I found out about them initially by researching what frames Johnny Depp wears, and the search result led me to Moscot. Okay, so this one is the Telena, and the cool thing about this, before I put it away, is you see the Moscot arrows here and here, I think. No, just on the side on this model. But you also see the core wire exposed, which gives it a very artistic, very pleasant aesthetic. Makes it look very, very classy and elegant. And I like the fact that it matches my skin tone very well. This is a great summer frame for me. Okay, so this is the Telena from Moscot. Next, I have the Corva from Moscot. Okay, and this is Moscot's take on an aviator. It is lightweight, clear acetate, again with an exposed wire core. You see a little bit of the emptiness or hollow end of the frame. And these ones also are a great summer frame for me. I have a dark gray transitionals on this, and it just comes across looking great. And it's very lightweight, it's very aesthetically pleasing, but is also very traditional aviator look. Just in the clear frames makes it great. Just in the clear acetate makes it great for summer wear. Okay. Just one thing to be careful about is that if you're around a lot of tradespeople or blue collars, they'll make fun of you for wearing safety glasses. Okay, which when I did get these, I never thought about it because I don't work with safety glasses. But yeah, it's pretty much designer safety glass in a way, design-wise. But yeah, just something to keep in mind if you're around blue collar people or tradies. They might actually crack a joke at you for wearing clear frames because they don't get it. Okay, but these are great for the summer. They're very classy, very elegant, very traditional aviator style. Next, I have the Lemtosh TT Special Edition. These are also in the clear acetate. Again, very thin construction. You get the Lemtosh arrow or spearhead here. Again, very exposed gold core wire and a hollow end tip for the frame. That's what they look like on me. This is really the classical look from Moscot, which is their Lemtosh frames. To the best of my knowledge, they're the highest selling out of that brand. And also, these frame designs are the ones that got me looking into what Johnny Depp wears, okay? And that's why I got into the brand. So that is the Lemtosh TT Special Edition in clear acetate and exposed gold core, wire core. Next, I have Lemtosh Milton. Okay, and these are in turquoise acetate. Again, made in Italy. Very lightweight, very high quality and handcrafted. And you know it's handcrafted because there are slight imperfections, but that's all right. And these look as such on me. And if you want this sort of traditional boarding school, you know, kid look, or an Ivy League like a Stanford, Harvard look, or even American Psycho look where Christian Bale wears his circular frames. It's a very old school frame style. Look no further than the Milton by Moscot. That's what they look like on me. They're gonna make you look extra smart, extra intelligent. You have this lawyer or investment banker look to you, which is why I wear this a lot to my office work, and anytime I want to be taken seriously and come across as a smart, intelligent kind of a guy. Okay, so these are the Miltons from Moscot. And last but not least from Moscot is the Vilda. So these ones here have an interesting story on how I procured them. So first of all, these again have these have the turquoise, and the Milton has the Havana. So this color is called the Havana. This one is the turquoise acetate. These ones are a bit thicker compared to the other Moscot offerings. They've got also thicker arm bars here, and you got the 3-dot aesthetic here as well as to the side instead of the arrow, and that's what they look like on me. Okay, and I got these. Prior to getting these, I had sworn I wouldn't buy any more frames. I'm done, I have enough. And then I was watching the show You on Netflix, and one of the characters in there, which was the psychiatrist, was wearing these. And I saw them on the show, and I was like, wait a second, these frames look very familiar. Sure enough, I went to the Moscot website and they were there. And at the time I was rocking a beard close to the face, just like the psychiatrist from the show You on Netflix. And I couldn't resist but pull the trigger on them. And I did. And man, they're really, really nice. They are a bit out there because they do have a slight cat eye sort of pull at the top. So they come across as very fashionable, slightly feminine. But if you have a beard, you can actually rock them very well and it balances out. Just be cognizant with these. They do come a bit hipstery, fashionista. So I wouldn't really recommend these for work environments, but just, you know, if you want to go out somewhere, look smart, intelligent, sophisticated, fashionable, these are the frames for you. If you want to look also, come across as a psychiatrist that sleeps with his patients and is hipstery, yeah, these are your frames. Okay, so these are the Vilda by Moscot. Right, you guys, so this is for the House of Moscot. Next is my latest adventure into opticals, and that is a Jacque Mage. And it's a house out of LA, Los Angeles, but the gentleman that creates the frames or designs them and sells them is a Frenchman that gets the frames done in Japan. So they're all handcrafted in Japan. And the thing about these frames is that they're very exotic in their design. A lot of them lean on old school design, and the acetate in them is about twice as a regular frame, if not 3 times, as well as the price. Okay, these are the most expensive frames I've ever owned and come across, and they're produced in limited editions and batches. So believe it or not, some of these you can buy on the secondary market, and they sell for a profit. So after being worn, people will buy them at an up price just because they're so coveted and they're in. Okay, so the first frame I have is the Jeff Goldblum collaboration frame in Bloodstone. And these are actually sunnies, so there are sun-based frames that I went ahead and removed the lenses and changed them to optical transitionals. And this is a collaboration with Jeff Goldblum, and it's called, the color is called Bloodstone because it's black acetate, like lacquer black piano keyboard style on the outside, and it's burgundy on the inside. And you also see the emblem of the Jacque Mage family here. To the best of my understanding, that's what it is. And an exposed wire core across the frame. And look at how thick this acetate is. And one thing this brand does is they do grips at the end of the bar handle just to help with keeping them stay stable on you. And that's what they look like on me. Let me tell you something. These frames are so thick that they have some heft and weight to them. So whenever you wear them, you're always conscious of them sitting on your face. I would say that's the only downside to this house. But design-wise, my God, you're gonna get asked where you got your frames from. They're head turners. You're gonna get compliments. They're just, in particular in where I live in Canada, they're not that well known. You have to be really into your frames, and you have to be, you know, at some level of wealth to know about this brand, because they don't come cheap, okay? The other thing about the Jacque Mage is their emblem, which is also an arrow, but upwards, which is a defining feature of this brand, okay? And the other thing is the, I don't know what these are called, no. Well, whatever these are called on the inside that hold the arm to the frame, they have like this really sophisticated, heavy, like hardcore mechanism here. So a lot of effort has went into the design of this for sure, which justifies the price. The quality of these is just, I mean, look at me. I look classy if I had a suit on, okay? If you don't know who Jeff Goldblum is, it's the rock star mathematician or physicist from Jurassic Park, okay? So it's the guy that played that character, and he is very eccentric and very into his fashion. So he worked with Jacque Mage to come with this design. And honestly, thank you, Jeff, for this design, because absolutely adore it. All right, so this is the Jeff Goldblum. Next, I have All These Nights is the name of this frame, okay? And this is a cat-eyed styled frame that is kind of like black marble-like. And look at that exposed wire core and the level of detail in that work. I hope the camera captures it. This is stunning. All of this is handmade, you guys. Okay? Again, the hinges on the inside here are in this frame. And again, you have the family emblem here. These ones, like I said, are more on the feminine leaning. They're cat-eye styled. Again, these were originally sunnies that I converted into opticals, okay? So that's why they look that way. So I actually much prefer them as sunnies. They look much better when I'm outdoors exposed to the sun and the transitionals kick in. These with a leather jacket look so badass, and they're very versatile to the point that when a girl wears them, they look very feminine. When a guy wears them, and you dress them right, they actually look badass, okay? They've got this bad boy vibe to them. Devil may care attitude. And yeah, these are something. I mean, you can see them on my face. You can see how stoked I am to have them. And these ones are very special because they have this black granite color look. So the camera most likely won't pick on it, but it's basically the acetate is like granite. So it feels like you're wearing a piece of granite on your face, which is really, really nice. So this was All These Nights. Next, I have an old school with an exaggerated teardrop aviator. And that's what this one looks like. Again, the acetate is very, very thick on these. This is what they look like from the sides. And on the inside, that's what they look like. And once you put them on, these are so nice, you guys. The exaggerated teardrop actually makes them stand apart from other aviators. And if you have a face like mine that's a bit angular, they actually exaggerate your masculine features. So overall, these are just some of my favorite aviators ever. Again, the downside with this brand is the weight. You can't really complain when you're getting almost 2 to 3 times the acetate with these frames. It's just a side effect. It's what adds to the quality but detracts also from the experience just because of how heavy they are. You're always conscious of them on your face. So just something to keep in mind when you are getting these. But otherwise, again, compliment getter with these ones because of the exaggerated teardrop, and it is very classy looking aviator. Okay. Next, I have the frame that possibly as of late captured the most attention on this channel, which is the Octavian. So this is a take on an old school Carrera, okay, and again, very thick acetate, and the ridge here is actually a titanium strip. It's very masculine, very aggressive, very 70s 80s look to it. Again, these were sunnies that I converted to opticals. That's actually the downside of being blind as a bat. But yeah, these are just, you guys, when they turn into sunnies and you go outside with the transitionals, my God, you look like a badass. You look like you're out of Miami Vice, like you're like you're either super rich and you're living in a Dior or Gucci mansion in the south of France, or you're a super rich coke dealer in Miami. Okay, that's what comes to mind when I put this. And make no mistake, these grab so much attention that sometimes I just feel so awkward because I can't tell if people are complimenting me or making fun of me. Nonetheless, if you want to grab attention, okay, if you want to stand out like a sore thumb, the Octavian, but by Jacque Mage, is your frame. And it also gives you the benefit of that, nostalgic eyewear style from the 80s and 70s, the Carreras, which you don't see a lot nowadays, especially in North America, but it's very familiar to some people, it's very exotic, and it definitely turns heads, and people will stop you to ask you where you got your frames from. So this is the Octavian by Jacque Mage. And last but not least, I have none other than Jacque. And these, you guys, are amazing. So these are dark royal blue aviators with very thin gold coated titanium arms, and look at the design and the decor on the arms. Again, probably the camera won't capture this, but I'll try my best for you guys. It's just the attention to detail is stunning, you guys. And that's what these look like. And again, these are so nice because you get the aviator look on the side, but then you get this classy sort of very rich old money kind of look with the gold coated titanium handlebars, arms with the very intricate design. It's very classy, very elegant. It's a blend of two styles, like I said, being old money as well as aviators. And these aviators aren't exaggerated or a typical aviator. They're very mellowed out. So they look very classy, very elegant, and very refined, okay? And yeah, the titanium arms, even though they look like they're fragile, they're surprisingly very durable, and they take punishments, you guys. So do not be put off by the thin titanium arms. They can handle a beating, okay? So with that said, you guys, this was the last from Jacque Mage, the Jenkins. All right. I'm gonna grab my Persols again. All right, you guys. So hopefully that satisfies all of you that are curious about my eyewear and the brands I have. And yeah, if you have any questions or inquiries, shoot them down at me at the comments and I'll do my best to answer. But these are the frames I have and these are the brands I go to for my eyewear. With that said, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. As per usual, very much appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.